Ooh, y'all, Justin Kirk Frost didn't just win this case. He obliterated Jasmine in court like she was never even in the picture. The internet, fully rattled. And let's be honest, who saw this coming? Everyone thought Kirk was done for. It looked like an L was just waiting for him to grab. But nah. This man pulled off the most unexpected legal comeback since Johnny Depp's case against Amber Heard. The tables didn't just turn, they flipped, spun, and knocked Jasmine flat. The outcome? Devastating for her. We're talking about a complete personal and financial crisis. Her whole image just took a major hit. Now let's rewind a bit. If you've followed their messy history, you already know things between Kirk and Jasmine go way back, and not in a good way. Years ago, Jasmine dropped a bombshell that nearly blew up Kirk's marriage to Rashida. She claimed she had a child with him, and the drama that followed had everyone glued to their screens. Reality TV ratings soared. Kirk's name got dragged through the mud. And Jasmine? She was out here basking in the spotlight. She had fans, bloggers, and most of the public eating out of her hand. But fast forward to now, and it's a whole new story. Kirk didn't just survive. He flipped the entire script. Jasmine went from leading the narrative to scrambling for cover. So, what exactly happened in court? Let's just say Kirk didn't walk in unprepared. He showed up with a powerhouse legal team that looked like something out of a crime drama. We're talking top-tier lawyers, hard evidence, and a plan so solid Jasmine never saw it coming. The judge barely had to think twice. Once the receipts came out, it was clear. Jasmine was in over her head. Here's what made the courtroom shake. Kirk brought proof that he'd been financially supporting Jasmine for years. And we're not talking basic child support. This included rent for upscale apartments, shopping sprees, and what appeared to be hush money. It wasn't just about taking care of a child. It looked more like Jasmine was cashing in. Then it got worse. Kirk's lawyers picked apart her credibility, pointing out inconsistencies in her story, questionable past behavior, and even shady financial decisions. Jasmine, who once seemed like the victim, started looking more like someone who was playing the system. Her reaction in court said it all. Shocked, nervous, completely blindsided. The moment those bank records hit the table, the energy shifted. The judge wasn't playing around. He ruled that Jasmine not only lost the case, but she had to pay Kirk back for the financial support she'd allegedly misused. Yep, you read that right. She walked in expecting a win and walked out owing money. And the internet? They went wild. Memes, tweets, TikToks. Every platform lit up. The same people who used to defend Jasmine flipped on her instantly. Even some of her loyal fans started calling her out, saying she got caught trying to run a game and ended up playing herself. Now, let's talk about Rashida. She's been through it all with Kirk. Through the cheating scandals, public humiliation, and reality TV drama, she stood by him, though not without criticism. But now, word on the street is that Rashida knew Kirk would come out on top. Some sources even hint she may have played a quiet role in helping behind the scenes. If that's true, Jasmine didn't stand a chance from the beginning. And it gets worse. This wasn't just a courtroom loss, it's a full-blown career crash. Jasmine had built her whole public persona around being the wronged woman. That narrative got her followers, brand deals, even TV opportunities. But now, sponsors are backing out. Companies don't want the heat. Her name's become toxic in a matter of days. The hashtag Jasmine fumbled trended for hours. People brought up old interviews and clips, dissecting every lie or half-truth they missed before. Even celebs jumped in, cracking jokes and throwing subtle shade. But Jasmine? She's not staying quiet. Sources close to her say she's furious, and she's planning a comeback. Rumor has it she's ready to drop new allegations about Kirk and Rashida, allegedly with receipts that could ruin both of them. Whether she's bluffing or really has something up her sleeve, we don't know yet. But one thing's for sure. This drama isn't over. And let's not forget the people who backed Jasmine in the first place. Where are they now? Are they still supporting her? Or are they ghosting her to save face? Meanwhile, Kirk is out here getting called a genius. Yep, the same guy who was once clowned for cheating is now being hailed as a mastermind. People are calling this his redemption story. But before we go giving him a crown, let's not forget, it's not over till it's over. If Jasmine really has dirt to spill, this win could be short-lived. The next few weeks are going to be wild, and you already know social media will be watching every move. So what do y'all think? Is Kirk truly out of the woods? Or is Jasmine about to drop part 2 of this saga? One thing's certain, the tea isn't cold, it's just starting to boil. Turns out everything Jasmine tried to pull has completely backfired on her. The court had hard proof showing that she had been twisting the truth, leaving out key details, and in some cases, straight up making things up to make Kirk look like the bad guy. And honestly, isn't that what she's been doing this whole time? From the beginning, it seemed like Jasmine was chasing sympathy, attention, and let's not forget, money. Throwing dirt on Kirk's name became her brand. But that little empire she was building, it just collapsed. Kirk's legal team didn't just find cracks in her story, they tore it apart. They brought in evidence that showed Jasmine had edited messages, changed dates, and carefully crafted a narrative that made her look innocent and Kirk look like the villain. One of the biggest lies? She said Kirk wasn't paying child support, but court documents proved otherwise. Not only was he sending regular payments, but he was also covering extra costs that she never mentioned, things like rent and other personal expenses. Then came the real shocker. Kirk's lawyers revealed that Jasmine had been making side deals with media outlets. She was selling stories about the drama, and some of the contracts showed that she needed to keep the conflict alive to keep getting paid. Basically, she had a financial reason to keep dragging Kirk's name through the mud, even if it meant lying. There were contracts, payment records, emails, everything the judge needed to see. And when that evidence came out, you could see it in her face. She knew it was over. The internet, of course, exploded. As soon as the news hit, people on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were going off. Memes, reactions, and jokes flew in from every corner of the internet. Some people still tried to defend her, saying maybe she just got caught up. But most folks weren't buying it. They felt betrayed. People who had supported her for years now realized they'd been misled. Even other influencers and reality stars jumped in. One said, "This is why I don't believe every expose y'all post. People lie for attention, and everyone falls for it." Another added, "Jasmine thought she was going to be the victim, turned hero, but the truth always comes out." But this wasn't just a PR disaster. It came with real consequences. First off, the judge ruled that Kirk didn't owe her anything beyond the agreed child support. No extra payments. No bonuses. Nothing. On top of that, because of all the lies, Kirk's team might sue her for defamation, and if that happens, Jasmine could be on the hook for a lot of money. Then there's the fallout with brands. Before all this, Jasmine had a good thing going. Sponsorships, collaborations, influencer deals. She was building a whole career. But after the trial, companies started pulling out. One insider said, "No one wants to work with someone who's seen as dishonest. It's too risky." Just like that, her influencer career started crumbling. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get worse, word started going around that Jasmine might actually face legal trouble beyond the courtroom loss. There are rumors that her financial moves and social media tactics could lead to fraud charges. Some say she may have lied under oath, which means perjury could be on the table. At this point, Jasmine hasn't just lost the case. She's lost her image, her deals, and maybe even her future. She thought she could play the game, but the game played her. And now, she's left picking up the pieces. Things are looking really bad for Jasmine right now. We're not saying she's definitely going to jail, but the way things are going, it's not looking good at all. Meanwhile, Kirk walked out of that courtroom like a winner. While Jasmine's world is falling apart, his public image just got a serious upgrade. Now the big question everyone's asking is, what's next? Is Jasmine about to disappear for good? Or is she gearing up for some kind of comeback? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse for her, they did. Losing in court was only the beginning. The backlash from fans, media, and even former supporters has been brutal. At one point, people were defending her, thinking she was the one being wronged. But once the truth came out, everything changed. Fast. On social media, the mood flipped overnight. Her follower count dropped by the hour. People started flooding her comments with questions, accusations, and disappointment. Some called her a liar, others roasted her with memes, and then there were those who were just plain hurt. One person tweeted, "I really stood by her like she was family, and she played all of us. Never again." Another added, "Kirk's no angel, but Jasmine out here lying for a check? That's wild." But that was just the surface. Behind the scenes, the real damage was happening. Not only were brands cutting her off, but some were also demanding their money back. Companies who once paid her to promote their products now wanted refunds. She was hit with breach of contract claims, and according to insiders, some of those brands are planning legal action. One industry source said, "They feel deceived. No one wants their name tied to this mess." On top of that, Jasmine's personal life was taking a hit too. Friends and other influencers who used to support her started pulling away. One even went live and said, "I didn't know she was lying. I can't be part of that. I've got my own reputation to protect." Then came another major blow. Reports started coming in that Jasmine couldn't even cover her legal fees. After the court ruled in Kirk's favor, she was left responsible for certain costs. And with her income drying up, she was quickly running out of options. A source close to her shared, "She really thought fans would feel bad for her and donate. Instead, they're laughing." Which brings us to the next twist. Jasmine launched a GoFundMe. Yep. She posted a campaign saying she was broke, misunderstood by the media, and needed help to rebuild her life. Her message said, "If you believe in justice, please help me get back on my feet." But people weren't having it. The comments were savage. One read, "Not you begging after lying for years. Girl, be serious." Another joked, "Kirk should donate $1 just for the laughs." And just when we thought it couldn't get messier, boom. Kirk's legal team might be coming back for more. Word is, they're seriously considering a defamation lawsuit. Legal experts say if Kirk follows through, Jasmine could owe him millions. One attorney said, "If this goes to court and Kirk proves damages, she could be financially destroyed." And based on what we're hearing, Jasmine doesn't have the resources to fight it. Bankruptcy might be her only option. Even her own family seems done. A cousin reportedly posted on Facebook, "I told her to stop while she could. Now look." When your own people start turning on you, it's clear things are bad. At this point, there's no easy way out for Jasmine. Her image is shattered. Her influencer career is likely over. And unless she finds a way to completely flip the script, she's in for a long, difficult road ahead. Some people think she might try to pull a comeback, maybe a tearful podcast or interview where she says she was misunderstood. Others believe she'll go quiet, lay low for a while, and try to pop back up when the heat dies down. But let's be honest, the internet never forgets. Meanwhile, Kirk is doing just fine.